So I'm doing a bicycle ride along North Antrim to discover the legacy of the Ulster-Scots pioneers of the area. So we're here at the parish of Drumtullagh. Very lovely church of Ireland denomination. Walk a wee bit around here. I'll tell you about the history here and its importance to the Ulster-Scots. This is here. Church services, 9:45 AM. See if we can see through the door. It's a lovely church. It's been here for hundreds of years. What a beautiful view as well. The landscape here, you can see over there in the distance, you can see the Limavady Mountains. Just going around the perimeter of the lovely church, you can sort of see inside it, the nice stained glass. See right through, like you can see the water there for the baptisms and all. Lovely, wish it was open. So, in 1840, a survey was done here in the parish and the population here. And it's very important for the Ulster-Scots people here, because it was the first time in record the Ulster-Scots as a language was recognised and also treated in a very positive sort of respect, which was very strange for that time, because a lot of people looked down on Ulster-Scots and the Ulster-Scots as a form of a language. They only seen it as a dialect. So this was the first place where they recognised it as a language and viewed it positively, with the person taking the survey stating that the people were descended by the Scottish and the English immigrants. The Scottish language is spoken in great purity, so they would have regarded Ulster-Scots as a dialect of Scots as well. So it was recognised here very positively by the people taking the survey. The Ulster-Scots was recognised not as English but as Scottish, so it helped legitimise Ulster-Scots here, and it was the first place in North Antrim, Ireland, which was recognised for Ulster-Scots, so very prominent place here. I hope you enjoy, and if you enjoy the video, remember to like and subscribe, because there's plenty more travel videos, local and abroad, coming soon. Right, so we'll get on to the next destination. Get down this hill, I'll readjust my camera, and we'll get going. Right, on the bicycle we go. Let's see if we can get down this hill with one hand, with my other hand holding the camera. Pushing back, because this is quite a steep hill. Ooh. Let's go. I am the happiest man alive, I tell you. So we're going to make our way to Bushmills, well, near Bushmills to a wee townland called Billy, where we'll explore someone's grave, which is very prominent to the Ulster-Scots community here and resonates with a lot of people. So we're off to there next. Right, we're now going to take a left turn. I should take it to Dervock. Like this, nice road. So fun to go on a mountain bike, that's for sure. I'm not sure if it'll be fun driving the car down this, but ah well. It's lucky I'm not driving the car. Just clouding myself in pure grace, because I changed the gear and it just came off, so I had to give this a wee fix. I think I've got it sorted now, but look at the state of my hands. I'm going to have to give them a wee clean. Jeepers. Oh look, Bill using road sign. Someone's been having fun with their guns. Wow. Lovely. Right, let's get this bite. Or as they say in Ulster-Scots, to say that your hands are pure, greasy and stinking, I could say, my hands are claried and glaur. Hands are claried and glaur from my bicycle. So you can see the connections with English as well. All languages form something. You think the influences of English with Germanic influences, French influences from the Norman invasion in 1066, things like that. All languages originate from somewhere. That's for sure. You even say Irish originates in the Iberian Peninsula. Oh, there's a few kitties. But yes, language originates somewhere. That's for sure. And they always develop. That's how languages evolve. It's natural. Languages are fluid. And that's something people gotta take note of when they have the debate of whether Ulster-Scots is a language or a dialect. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day because it's that fluid that there's never going to be a clear answer. Well, we're going to be going up this big hill now. Quite fun. I'm getting a good leg exercise now. I haven't done much exercise after being busy in my room working on assignments. So it's good to get out in the fresh air, get a bit of exercise. But yeah, there's going to be some hill to get up. Tell you what, the pothole situation in Northern Ireland is not good. Look at the state of this. This is the sort of roads you're working with around here. Not ideal. Then again, it could be always worse. So, we've now just arrived into Drumtullagh. Now we're going to part ways. The cycle path. There, you see it in the wee blue sign. We're going to go left. And right into Billy. Strong lesson. They're like one of the old bus shelters. I think they look so cool. Old Ulster dust shelter. And that's Drumtullagh Church there as well. It's of the Presbyterian denomination. Right, on to the next road. We got a nice hill here. I thought I might as well record it. Woo! I'm gonna have to check Google Maps before I take this turn. I'm gonna have to check Google Maps now. Just make sure I'm going the right way, because I don't usually go further than this. I usually take the main roads to Bushmills. So, we'll see. I see a key cat in the road. That was there earlier, which I got caught on camera. Right, we're now at Crossroads. I'm gonna go right. Really hate talking this camera when you're fucking nearby. Like, I didn't even notice that. Bicycle rider. But it's just very awkward. This is as if I'm schizophrenic. I just gotta get used to it if I'm doing wee videos like this. It's the church now. It's the church. was Ted's in 1620. So just around the time when the plantation sort of started. It's a beautiful old graveyard. I think he held yew trees that are planted all along this graveyard. Old Irish myth and legend is the yew trees are connected with like spirits or something. I'll have to look into it a bit more then I can put it on the video as well, but there's a connection with yew trees and graveyards in North Ireland to do with spirits and stuff. It's very interesting, very cool bit of local history. Like you can see there, if I can read that, 1746. So graves here are older than the existence of the United States of America, which I'm sure is very interesting for American viewers and people from the New World in America, like Canada and places like that. Graves here, Graham, the Ulster-Scots. Very hard to read these old graves. Steel. Second of steel. It's really cool going around these places. A lot of people don't really take it in, even locals, especially folk around my age, too busy at university sorting out their assignments. It's made of slate, this grave. Slate's easy to get around these parts. 1700s, unfortunately the date has been taken off. First way this lace there, don't connect to it. 1936, so there's one a lot more recent. 1853, if my camera can read that. Well, look at this one here. Someone served. Royal Irish Rifles, 1920, 2020, age 22. So that would have been round Irish War of Independence. So that's very interesting, so that must be linked to that. So there's someone served for the Crown when nationalists, well, Republicans and loyalists were fighting for Ireland. One loyal and one rebellious, all in the name of Ireland. I'm just taking a wee break here, had a drink of water, and I'm going to explore the grave of a war hero in this local area. He was a recipient of the Victoria Cross, and his name is Robert Quigg. It's good the church has signs to show where it's at, so that's handy. And there it is. On the 1st of July 1916 was pushed into no man's land to take the German trenches. Now this was the bloodiest day for the British forces in World War I, and these men were willing to give their lives to the Crown, willingly, because they weren't conscripted, because Irish divisions at that time, because of political tension at that time, there wasn't forced conscription. Ulster division, mainly comprising of the Ulster-Scots people who are in these parts, served. So, bloodiest day, and Robert Quigg 7 times went into the trenches and rescued multiple men, and for that he was rewarded with the Victoria Cross, to show gratitude for his service and bravery, and he rightfully so deserves it. These people were willing to give their lives to the Crown at a time of political upheaval in the island of Ireland, with Unionists opposing Home Rule and Nationalists wanting Home Rule, and they believed that serving the Crown they would get their way. Unionists through Sixth Ulster Division, who were initially many members part of the original UVF, which was formed in 1913 or 1912, I believe. When war came, there were 36 Ulster Division. So people like Quigg probably thought of his services and his sacrifice that Ireland wouldn't have home rule, Ireland wouldn't be partitioned. I'm sure many nationalists who served as well had the expectation that home rule would be granted. Unfortunately, none of them expectations were made because of partition, so I'm not sure many people were happy with the results, because they were given false promises, I'd say, but people are still respected for giving their lives and willing to give their lives for Ireland and the United Kingdom. Right, we're now on the main road. Traffic's going to be a bit busier in around here. Why on earth is there a cone in the middle of the road? That's stupid. They don't call this area the Bible Belt of Ulster for nothing. It's like going along this, there's a lot of the big posters on the telegraph poles saying Jesus saves. There's crosses and all that. So, in these parts, people aren't afraid to express their faith. And that is the Ulster-Scots mentality. People are very strong-willed and not afraid to express their religious and political opinions. You know, they're quite a rebellious bunch when it comes to the establishment. This is in the wee village now. Us in the graveyard of Dervock. Quite well hidden. Look at this bike sat somewhere. Let's have a look around. So this church doesn't do Sunday services anymore. It's abandoned. It's now a ruin. A time long ago. I just need to adjust my camera because it's playing up here, but I'll go in here. Have a look. Really cool. 1855. Murphy. What a cool spot. That's pretty cool. There you can see someone's chiseled like redesigns onto this. I don't even know what it is. I think this is the back of the place as well. It's pretty cool. Time has definitely done a number in this place. I think you see a family crest as well in this one. So it tells you the history about this grave on it here. Over in Skull and Fusiliers. Wow. That's interesting as well. So this is Meek's grave. So he served in World War I, and he would have been likely a unionist, been around these parts, and he saved the life of William Redmond, who was the brother of John Redmond, who was the leader of the Irish Parliamentary Party, who were the biggest nationalist party here. So a unionist, an Irish unionist, saved the life of an Irish nationalist. So there's another example of an Ulster-Scots hero and pioneer who protected the life of an Irish brethren in the front lines in World War I. There's a grave there from World War II, Michael Ace, Royal Air Force as well. So, a lot of Ulster-Scots heroes around these parts, you know, that fella saved the life of someone who had complete opposite views to him for the future of Ireland, but they are both Irish, serving the front lines, and just highlights the brotherhood in people, Ulster-Scots, Irish identifiers, British identifiers. We're all connected, and despite our political differences, and I think that's really cool to see here in the Ulster-Scots heartland, like Dervock. Onwards to Dervock, where I've got a bit of American history for you, and I've got a little hint. It's got to do with presidents and the ancestors of a prominent president during the Spanish-American War. You can have a guess, and then in a wee minute you'll see who I'm on about. I've messed up mid-chain again. Every time I go in sixth gear, it just comes off. So I'm going to have to give this another wee fix here. Now you see the lights came off. I'll do it dirty again. Right, lesson learned. Low gear 6. Onward and not far. See the church spire. If it zooms in, that's Dervock. This is in Dervock now. Welcome to Dervock. Look, you can see the president there. If you don't know who that is William McKinley. And that wee river there connects into the bush, and you might know the bush from Bushmills whiskey. So this here is the monument dedicated to William McKinley, and I think it's pretty cool. I think it was erected by one of the US ambassadors. But yeah, it's pretty cool, like the United States sail. See here, that's what this old house would have looked like in around these parts. Well, it's his ancestral home, because he was born, I believe, in Ohio. Yeah, pretty cool. I'll talk more about it later on. Well, as you've seen there in my past clip there, William McKinley's ancestors came from the Dervock area, and we place Connacher, I think that's how you pronounce it. But I'll put it up on a wee map to show you where it's at. So, McKinley was an Ulster-Scots man, and he was very proud of his heritage. Very, very proud of his heritage. His ancestors, great-great-grandfather James McKinley, came from the Dervock area, and they fled to America. The family fled to America after 1798, right to Irishman Rebellion in 1798, where it was actually pioneered by the Protestants of Ulster. And when we think of Protestants, Protestant Ulster-Scots people, we often associate it with unionism. But back then, primarily the Presbyterians, the dissenters, they pioneered the Republican ideology of Ireland in places like Ulster. You have people like Theobald Wolfetone in Belfast, Presbyterian, a dissenter against the crown, because of the English at the time had penal laws, and the penal laws also not only applied to Catholics but also applied to dissenters. So that would have been people outside of the Anglican faith. So there was rebellion, and they wanted rights. They wanted rights and freedom, so they desired a republic, so they pushed for this rebellion. And it was unsuccessful. And McKinley's great-great-grandfather was executed in Coleraine, which is like 20 minutes down the road from where that church was in Derrykeegan. So the Ulster-Scots were very rebellious in the desire for freedom, but also loyal to freedom. When they got their rights with the Act of Union in 1801, they were loyal to the Crown after that as a result. You can see that with World War I with heroes like Robert Quigg. They believed they had freedom guaranteed under the Crown, and that's why they became loyal to Britain as a result. But that wasn't always the case. So the true loyalties in the Ulster-Scots people is always freedom. And you can see that mentality of the Ulster-Scots diaspora in America, McKinley, these American values that they have, freedom and liberty and equality and justice, all originate from the Ulster-Scots mentality. So it's very important to see in around these local areas of North Antrim where the Ulster-Scots people originated in the home turf, and it's great to have such prominent history